There are moments when time seems to stand still. And in the silence between your thoughts and your heartbeats, something ancient stirs. The angels have watched as your soul called out for clarity. And today they whisper, this person, yes, the one who won't leave your thoughts. They are yearning for a second chance. But they fear they no longer deserve it. There is a sacred reason for your meeting. It was never casual. Long before your eyes found each other, your souls had already recognized the shape of this bond. You weren't placed in this person's path to be forgotten. You were sent to awaken. You, the woman with quiet strength and fierce tenderness, you became a mirror for everything they didn't know they longed for. He thought he had more time, more control, but your presence cracked something open. Now he sees it clearly. The life he built without you is no longer enough. He tries to envision another beginning, one where he's brave enough to stay. But he doesn't know if you would still open the door. And that's what haunts him. Because even in the quiet, the invisible thread between your hearts pulls stronger each day. The angels say, he prays in silence, not with words, but with longing. What he never told you is this: you are the only person who made him believe that love could be his salvation, not his downfall. You were the turning point. The chapter that broke the pattern. The chance at something real. And he knows it. But with that knowledge comes fear. Of failure. Of not being ready. Of having waited too long. Still, his soul reaches for yours. He dreams not of the past, but of a future that feels incomplete without you in it. And perhaps, this is why you still feel him, like a wave that never truly recedes. He wants to begin again. With you. And God is whispering to his heart. Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? Isaiah 43 verse 19. This is not just about love. It is about redemption. What is meant for you is not gone. It is transforming. You wonder why he pulls back just when it starts to feel safe. Why the silence suddenly becomes deafening. Why he smiles with his eyes and then vanishes with his fears. The angels see you, standing there with your heart open, your hands full of light, and your spirit asking softly, is it me? No, beloved soul. It was never about your worth. The angels speak gently. He carries wounds you cannot see. Bruises left by promises that broke him. Scars formed by love that came wrapped in confusion, control, or silence. He's not running from you. He's running from a version of himself he no longer wants to be, but doesn't know how to stop being. He learned early on that love was something to fear. That vulnerability meant danger. That closeness would eventually be followed by abandonment. So when he felt your presence, real, soft, radiant, it terrified him. Not because you weren't safe, but because you felt like home. And homes, to him, have always crumbled. Your kindness is overwhelming to a man who's only known affection as a transaction. Your consistency is confusing to a heart trained for chaos. Your love, it threatens every defense he built to protect himself. That's why he retreats. Not because you are too much, but because you are everything he thought he'd never find. He is caught between craving the safety you offer and fearing the collapse of the walls he's relied on for years. So he tests you, disappears, returns, as if trying to prove that you will leave, so he doesn't have to be the one who risks believing you'll stay. The angels say, he sees you as holy ground, and he fears stepping on it with unclean feet. But this, dear soul, is not your burden to carry. You weren't sent to fix him. You were sent to reflect what love could feel like, if only he allowed himself to accept it. And slowly, painfully, those walls are starting to crack. Not from pressure, but from your presence. He is not broken, but he is very guarded. And healing has its own pace. You don't need to stay in suffering. But know this, your light is already softening the stone he thought was his heart. And no matter how long he runs, he carries your echo within him. There's a quiet ache that grows in women who give too much, not because they are weak, but because they love with such depth that they forget the shoreline of their own soul. You have held space for him, for his wounds, his fears, his silences. But now the angels whisper, "Daughter, return to your own sanctuary." Loving someone in transition does not mean abandoning yourself in the process. You do not have to pour until you are empty just to keep them full. The truth is, your essence, your joy, your grounded peace, is the most powerful medicine in this story. And that requires care. They see how you light candles for others, but let your own burn low. How you breathe life into his dreams, but silence your own needs. But the angels want you to know, your radiance is not meant to be sacrificed. You were never meant to become a shadow just so someone else could find their light. There is a sacred power in your laughter, a healing in your stillness. And the more you return to yourself, the more magnetic you become. Because the love that draws him closer is the love you give yourself. He is awakening, yes. But so are you. And in this chapter, your soul is asking to be chosen by you. Not as an act of rebellion, but as a return to wholeness. Let your heart be heard. Let your body be cherished. Let your spirit be refilled. The angels say, do not confuse waiting with self-denial. Your joy is not on hold. This connection, if it is to thrive, must come from abundance, not from sacrifice. So dance once more. Create anew. Breathe as if the world is watching. And let him witness the beauty of a woman who refuses to dim her light for anyone. He will be drawn to that. Not to your suffering, but to your self-dedication. And when he seeks you, let him find you shining, not waiting. Because the woman who remembers herself becomes a prayer no one can forget. It was never just your smile that caught his attention. It was the way it made him see himself, reflected in eyes that did not shy away from his truth. The angels say, you are not just his desire. You are his revelation. Every time you looked at him with compassion, he saw a version of himself he was not yet brave enough to become. And that frightened him. Because in your presence, the masks fall away. The roles dissolve. And the soul is left, exposed. You are the mirror he didn't ask for, but needed. When he touches your skin, it's more than physical. It's a spiritual connection with his own repressed tenderness. When you speak truth, gently but clearly, it resonates through the walls he built with pride and pain. He doesn't always know how to respond to that. So he avoids, or deflects, or makes you question what you already know in your bones. But don't mistake his confusion for rejection. You didn't break him, you revealed him. You were sent to reflect, not to rescue. To show, not to fix. And as he looks at you, he sees both beauty and accountability. You remind him of what he could be, if he set down his fears. He may call it overwhelming. He may call it intense. But the truth is, your presence dismantles his illusions. He cannot be numb around you. He cannot be passive. And that is both his awakening and his resistance. The angels remind you, you were not sent to dim your light to make him comfortable in the dark. Let the reflection stand. Let it speak. Let it do what only divine mirrors can do. crack the surface and open the soul. He will either run or rise. But know this, nothing about you needs to be smaller. You are the catalyst, the sacred confrontation, the one who sees. And when he's ready to meet himself, truly meet himself, he will return to your eyes, not for comfort, but for truth. There is a shift happening, not loud, not sudden, but deep and undeniable. It's in the way he lingers in thought when your name crosses his mind. In the way he replays your voice like a song he doesn't want to end. The angels lean in and whisper, "He is waking up, love." And it's because of you. Not because you pushed. Not because you begged. But because your essence remained. You didn't demand a change. You became the change he couldn't ignore. He starts noticing the weight of his own avoidance. He catches himself missing you in moments he never used to. He sees couples holding hands and wonders why he's still pretending not to need the same. It's subtle, but it's holy. The awakening of a guarded heart is not a spectacle. It is a trembling. You were never just a chapter to him. You were the book he kept returning to in the dark. And now the light is seeping in through the cracks. He questions the way he closed the door. He wonders if maybe, just maybe, you'd open it again. Not because he's entitled, but because he's finally listening to the truth that's been echoing in the silence. You are the safest place he never knew he needed. The angels say, what was hidden is now being revealed. Not to the world, but to his own soul. He is not the same. And it started the moment he realized your absence wasn't just a void. It was a mirror of what he refused to face. This awakening doesn't promise a fairy tale, but it does promise truth. And truth, when fully embraced, always leads to love. He may not know how to reach you yet, but he's no longer asleep. And that, dear one, is the miracle you prayed for, without even knowing. He comes and goes. Each time, your heart braces for the storm. You wonder if you imagined the connection, if you dreamed it all up in some sacred corner of hope. But the angels say, this rhythm is not rejection. It is resistance. He feels the pull, undeniable, magnetic, holy. Yet he also fears what it might cost to surrender. So he dances, forward, then back, close, then gone. It's not about you. It's about a part of him that still believes love means losing control. He doesn't yet know how to stay where he feels most at home. He was taught that longing is dangerous, that desire leads to devastation. But then came you. A calm flame. Not demanding, but undeniable. Suddenly, his old survival patterns begin to unravel. The angels whisper, he leaves, not because he wants to forget, but because remembering you ignites too much truth. It's not your job to chase, to convince, or to soften the fear that isn't yours. This connection is not broken. It's becoming. He is shedding layers, wrestling with shadows. And you, dear soul, are steady. Not waiting, but walking your path with grace. Let him come. Let him go. Let your spirit remain whole. You are not a cycle. You are the invitation to rise above one. Each return speaks more than he can voice. Each silence carries the weight of words he is not ready to say. But the love is there. Still. This is not about punishment. It is preparation. The angels are weaving timing, healing, and clarity behind the scenes. Let him find his courage. And let your soul rest in peace, not in proof. Because love that is real does not require your exhaustion. Just your truth. He doesn't fully understand it yet, how your presence soothes parts of him he never dared to name. But the angels do. They say, your love entered him like light into a locked room. Quiet, but unstoppable. You didn't heal him with grand gestures. You did it by the way you listened. The way you looked at him like he was already whole. And something in him, something broken, tired, hidden, began to breathe again. You might think he didn't notice. But he did. The way your words softened his anger. The way your patience calmed his chaos. The way your silence never judged. That wasn't just affection. That was alchemy. You touched the root of his pain. And where others tried to fix him, you simply stood beside him, still, gentle, strong. You let him feel safe in the presence of love without expectation. And now, even in your absence, that memory is healing. The angels say he thinks of you in quiet moments. When the world becomes heavy. When his chest tightens for no apparent reason. When he reaches for something familiar in the dark, it's your name that his soul whispers. Because you didn't just love him. You loved the parts of him no one else could hold. You didn't offer a cure. You became the sanctuary. Even now, that healing continues. Even in silence, your love works like a prayer, unseen but powerful. Let that be enough for now. Not every love shouts. Some simply tend to the wound and wait. You are that love. The one that didn't try to rescue him. The one that reminded him he was never beyond redemption. And that is the most sacred medicine of all. There's a divine order unfolding beneath the chaos. You may not see it yet, but heaven has been orchestrating every step, every pause, every delay. The angels are speaking now, not with urgency, but with certainty. This love is guided. It was never lost, only led through necessary silence. You have questioned the timing. Wondered why something so deep could feel so distant. But the truth is, the soul moves at the pace of divine timing, not desire. What you feel is real. And what is real never dies. He has been walking a path of resistance, yes. But he is also being led through a sacred unraveling. The breaking down of illusions. The softening of pride. The quiet removal of fear, one layer at a time. God is not late. God is preparing. The angels show you as light, held, watched over, protected. Your connection is not on pause. It is in progress. And the love you carry is not being wasted. It is being woven. Into him. Into you. Into the right moment where everything aligns not just in feeling, but in readiness. You are not sent into his life by chance. You are part of the architecture of his awakening. But it had to happen like this, in the ache, in the distance, in the waiting. Because true love is not a flash of fire. It's the slow, steady building of something eternal. The angels are beside you now, whispering peace into your unrest, holding your heart as it learns the rhythm of surrender. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. Proverbs 3 verse 5. This is the kind of love that doesn't collapse under time. It becomes more sacred because of it. The plan is still unfolding. And it's more beautiful than you could have imagined. There is a silence that speaks louder than words, the kind he carries when he looks at you and says nothing, yet everything in him aches to be known. The angels say, he wants to love you, but doesn't know how to survive it. To open his heart means exposing the very place where he has been hurt before. You are not just a desire, you are a risk. Because loving you would require him to step beyond the armor. To let go of control. To trust something he cannot guarantee. He has built his world on survival. predictability, emotional distance dressed up as strength. But with you, none of that works. You disarm him, not with force, but with truth. He wants to reach for you, but every time he tries, he's met with a wave of panic. What if she sees the brokenness and walks away? What if I give everything and still lose her? So he hesitates, retreats, speaks in half-truths, keeps doors half open, not because he doesn't care, but because he cares more than he knows how to handle. The angels are with him in this battle between the past and the potential. They whisper to his soul, "You are safe. You are seen." This is love, not loss. He may not be able to express it yet, but you are where his soul longs to find peace. Still, he needs time. Time to shed the patterns that once protected him. Time to realize that love doesn't mean disappearing. And you, dear soul, need to understand, his fear is not about your rejection. It is his own awakening. He is learning that vulnerability is not weakness. It is the start of true intimacy. And when he is ready to step through that door, he will find you not waiting, but steady, rooted, radiant, ready. Because the woman who loves without needing to be needed is the safest place a man can land. There comes a moment when striving ends, when your soul exhales and simply trusts what is. This is that moment. The angels gather close now, their wings wrapping around your heart, speaking not with urgency, but with reverence. You do not have to earn this love. You only have to receive what already knows your name. All this time, you thought you had to fight for it, to hold on tighter, to be more patient, less visible, more gentle, less needy. But the truth is, love that is meant for you doesn't ask you to shrink. It invites you to rise. You are not too much. You are not too late. You are not a second choice. You are a divine echo of everything he is finally learning to believe in. And now, you are being asked to surrender the outcome, to release the grip, to take a step back and let love come, not chased but chosen. The angels say, "You did not fail. You revealed. You became. You loved." And that is enough. Whether he returns today, tomorrow, or never, you are still deserving of a love that remains. Let your heart be open. Let your hands be empty. Let your spirit be full. The right love will not be built on tension. It will come in harmony. It will feel like breath, like rest, like a door that opens and never shuts. You are not waiting anymore. You are living. And if it is him, he will find you not where he left you, but where your spirit has always been, whole. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. There is nothing more to prove. Nothing more to fix. Just the quiet, sacred knowing that what is yours knows the way back to you.